On average, it costs $20,000 a year to send one kid to childcare here in the state of Massachusetts. That is one child to go to daycare. $20,000. So if you have multiple children, obviously that number is typically double. And I will show you what that looks like for me and my family and the center that we're at. These are the rates for our daycare. We go to a town-based daycare, so there's two sets of rates. There's the regular rate, and then there's the resident rate. The resident rate obviously gets you a slight discount, which is amazing. And most daycares, hopefully, will provide a sibling discount. The sibling discount, though, always goes to the cheaper child. It's like the BOGO, right? When you're shopping, it goes on the lowest price kid. So if your oldest kid is in the pre-K rooms, then that's where you're getting the discount, which is better than nothing, right? But if we look at these rates, you'll see that the more days you go, the lower your rate gets. But for some families, if you're going to go 4, you might as well go 5 because the difference in price just is not enough to make it make sense to stay home that extra day from work if that's what you're considering. We currently have 2 kids who are daycare age, so 1 toddler and 1 preschooler. Our preschooler goes 5 days a week at the $71 rate per day, and then our toddler, when she gets in and off the wait list, and she's going to be on the wait list until she's basically 2 years old, should be $87 a day. And so right now for 1 child, we're paying about like $1,500, actually a little bit more than that, a month for her to go to preschool full time. When we have both of them in care, even with all the discounts, it's going to be about a little over $3,000 a month. And so that's for 2 kids in full-time daycare preschool situations. So when people talk about the cost of daycare and they say like it's most expensive for infants, it's always more expensive for infants, that's where this $20,000 number comes from. That's not where it comes from. I'm paying about $18,000 a year for my pre-K kid, my preschool kid. Once both of them go, it'll be about closer to $40,000, if not a little bit more than $40,000 a year for 2 kids to go to daycare. We don't have any infants in daycare. One of the reasons we don't have an infant in daycare is because we could never get in. The wait list was way too long, and families can barely get a daycare slot for their infant unless they register and get on that wait list when they are like 6 weeks pregnant. Like, it's the first thing you need to do. And then another reason families don't do it is because of the cost. It is about $28,000 a year for 1 infant in daycare at this center. And this is one of the less expensive centers because it is not corporate. So if you were to go to a corporate daycare in our town, it is much more expensive for any age. And the real kicker here is that they always pitch you on like it gets less expensive as they get older, but guess what? You continue to get 10% increases year over year. So even when you expect the price to drop a little bit, you're going from infant to toddler and then toddler to pre-K, it goes down and then it goes right back up because you have that annual increase. And so you're never really saving what you think you will, unfortunately, in the current childcare system that we have here in the United States.